What's going on, world? It's Mr. Dreams to Reality, Coach Ford here. Hey, this is just a casual real talk vlog, man. I was just inspired this week. I got a chance to talk to my big bro, and we had an awesome podcast. Go check out the first episode of Coach Ford Speaks, episode 1. But we were having a conversation about some opportunities that we had, because when I first started working, he was a big influence over me getting to one of the restaurants that I worked at in our local town. And we were just talking about the team chemistry and the camaraderie that we had there. And whenever we were talking about that, it drummed up some thoughts that I had around the youth movement and me helping out 20-year-olds, mentoring them, giving them some guidance, giving them some tools to help them. And the thing that came to my mind is like, man, if I was 22, what would I do different, right? And the big thing is I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change much in terms of how my life has gone. But what I would change, if I was, mentoring and helping out the young guy or the young lady, stack your cash and find a way to turn that cash into more money, right? So if you're working at a restaurant, which is the most ideal place, and I'll be honest with you, if I was doing this again, and I could go do it today, I think about it all the time, going back into the restaurant industry and serving people to the highest extent possible. Because if you build your client base in the restaurant industry, they're going to take care of you. And if you take care of the people, you take care of their families, they're going to take care of you. And not only that, it gives you an option to get cash, right? And so that's the big thing that I would say. If I was that 20-year-old, I would stack cash and then take that money and invest it, and then develop a way to get your money making more money. So as you're figuring out, what's your dream job? What is the job that you really want to do? Not the job that you feel pressured in by your family, or you feel pressured in by society, or you say, I got to have it figured out right now. If not, I'm a complete and utter failure. And that's just not the truth. And the thing is, I had some side hustles, and getting a side hustle, finding a way to help serve other people, anything to generate cash would be what I would tell the young people, right? And something that as a business owner, I'm like, I need to find a way to generate cash. And now I get it. When I would work with the older people at Applebee's, and they were talking about, and they were running a business, they're like, man, I'm just doing this so I can get cash infused into the system. And so there's a couple ways to do that. You get a high paying career that's going to pay you tons of money, but if they're paying you tons of money, they're expecting you to be there like they own you. They're going to let you know that they own you. And you don't have a life working there. And so, being in a restaurant, and, I was in restaurant management, and, all your time was spent there, and it was cool. I worked as a store manager for another corporation. And so, I never thought about really sharing my experiences with like this, because it's like, why, who cares, and people don't care. But there's a group of kids and there's young adults that need this advice in terms of career advice. What I would say is networking, be a steward, be a hard worker, build relationships with the owners, build relationships with people at the jobs, seek information, always be a constant learner. Now you're in the real world, right? Now you're in the game time. Now you're in the big boy situation where you got to know that other people are trying to feed their families, and you're just a young kid coming in here, and you got to respect that. And so for me, I always respected that, because I was like, man, I got a kid too. So and my family got to eat, and I got to pay for my stuff too, man. So I respect that. And for young people, they just trying to figure it out, especially that transition from high school, or if you're in college, whatever it is, trying to figure it out. So fortunate enough, for me, we were able to work with kids our age, and people who understood. And so it was a good mix of age demographics, right? So the generations worked well together in that environment. We had great leadership too, and they understood. And so when you come in with the intention to help and serve people, it makes it so different. And we were ahead of our time in that. And I'm not going to talk too much about that because I want to say that for our next show. But what I do want to talk about is some tactics and strategies, right? So when you go to these jobs, know people, talk to them. The first thing I would do is ask their people, talk to their people, ask their people questions. Ask the management, what are y'all looking for? What is your biggest need? How can I serve you? What are the pain points? And, most of the time their pain points is we need people who are willing to work and committed to work. And, so if I'm you, I go in there with the mind negotiation, say, okay, hey, so I know you need these resources. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you, I'm going to be really intense and I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm gonna help y'all out because y'all helping me out. And so, treat it like a partnership. I think if managers and employees and companies would treat it like a partnership instead of a I'm your boss type deal. And I'm not a big fan of the word boss. So I feel the young people on that. I don't like the term boss. I don't like the term you bossing me around. I don't like the term boss day. I don't like it. I mean, I'm an emphatic, I hate that word. And I don't say that a lot. And I don't like the term that somebody's the boss of me because they're not, right? We're in a partnership with a function and a job, man. So um I feel them on that, right? And it feels like, man, and it feels like you're being bossed around, but if you really go into it with like, okay, I'm gonna put my needs to the side and the things that I want, and I'm gonna serve this company to the best of my ability. And so that's what I would do. That's what I would tell the young people. That's why I tell the 20-something years old, how do you go and serve this company? We know you need the money, but what are you going to do to really help this company um, glow up? And if I'm you, that's what's going to set you up for your next job. It's going to saying, okay, I'm really going to help this company. And I'm not going to worry about it from a place of needing money or from a place uh, of anything else besides I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna give the best to my ability, I'm gonna give the best to my performance. So like I had a comment on my YouTube and they was talking about, man, this guy gets 2 views, he working so hard. I ain't working hard at this, man. I love doing this. I'm not hooping no more. I'm not playing basketball no more. So for me, this is being in the game of entrepreneurship. This is me being in the game of content creation. I just inserted myself into this, and instead of trying to make it to the NBA, I'm just trying to be the best person that I can be. And so I think if everybody takes that approach, I believe if everybody takes that understanding that, hey, we all trying to be the best we can be. And it's not me versus you, it's me and you collaborating to be the best that we can be. And if we take that emphasis and focus, I think we'd be cool. I think the world would be in a lot better position. And so, yeah, we got to understand that where we're going and who we're going to be. And so as I practice my speech, as I listen to people and I start crafting my message, the better that the words become, because I understand not everybody wants to hear the high level conversations. And I understand that not everybody can digest that. So I have to make my content digestible. Right. And so where I'm not word vomiting on people and speaking up here to where we can have conversations. So that's why I ask more questions. I ask more questions uh, to people than I do giving answers. Because if you ask questions, you'll get the answers. And so, yeah, I recommend for any of those 20-year-olds, stack the cash, get a mentor, get around people. There's people out here that's willing to help. This podcast, this show, my podcast is for as you grow into the person that you're becoming, right? So as you start to mature into the person you're going to be, that's when the information really becomes gold. Because that's what happened for me. Man, I ain't doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. And so, yeah, and if I was in here talking all high level and stuff at a level that you can't comprehend, you turn me off. And so I'm figuring out how to have that conversation in terms of my show speech and the content in terms of how we're going to deliver this information. So when I do my webinars, it's got to be a totally different conversation in terms of how I'm presenting the information because I'm teaching people in a different uh, stratosphere and in a different atmosphere. And so whenever I'm doing this conversation, it's just me talking. I'm not on work mode. It's just me having a conversation, me being chill, me being coach forward and just being honest and having those authentic conversations. I mean, all my conversations are authentic, but this is me not in work mode. This is just me talking and me turning on this camera and saying, hey, I feel you. I see you. And so for that 20-year-old man, stack that cash, find a little side hustle, turn that money and flip it, find you a little investment property, find you some stocks, put that money away, and then make a plan. Hey, make it a plan every month just to start off with $50 a month, right? Now you thinking $50 a month. Think about it. You're 20 years old, man. You're building yourself a habit. Go get your little bank account open, or get your little shoebox. Get your little shoebox and throw the cash in there. Um, and so I think it's important. I think it's important that people figure out how they're going to develop, figure out how the person they're going to be. And so, yeah, this is just a real life vlog. This is just real talk. This is just me having conversations, me being a mentor. I was fortunate enough to grow up with people that I was always teaching. And so, unfortunately, not everybody has those people that sit down and talk to them. So I'm sitting here having conversations with you. So, yeah. And so I ain't got it all figured out. I ain't perfect. I got my stuff too. So, but yeah, so it's all good. For the best of the best, man. We'll catch up to y'all. Hey, before you do anything else, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yeah, like and subscribe. All right, y'all have a good day.